Hello friends, today we will see something about the human nature and how Siddhanta plays a role in our nature. Yeah? So first, basically we all have senses, sense organs and senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and so on. So most of the people, we live and we die just by using our sense organs. So for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm waking up one day in the morning and I'm realizing that I'm very late to the office. I have just 15 minutes to get ready. What will I do? Just rush, go brush my teeth. I know where my brush is, where my paste is. Just go there, take it, brush, comb my hair, put on my dress, get ready, take shower, and then just off to the office. So here I'm not thinking much. Yeah, I'm not using my mind. I'm just doing my actions based on the senses. Yeah, no logical reasoning or nothing. Just use the senses, get the job done. This is how most of the people live and they die also through their entire life. So I'm not saying bad about them. So if we take the concept of reincarnation and so on, maybe we were like that in our last birth. We never know. So I'm not saying bad about them, but what I'm saying is most people, most of them, they live and they die just by using their senses. This is what animals do as well. Yeah? So this is one group of people. The second level, they use their mind. What is a mind? A series of thoughts, that's all. Yeah? They serve two purposes mainly. One is in the form of memory, because they store any and every incident in the form of memory, and it comes in front of us as thoughts. And based on the past, we project the future. Yeah? It is the normal process. Something happened like this in the past, so we should not be doing it. It is dangerous. If we put our finger on the fire, it hurts, so we should not do it. Yeah? So this is the concept of mind. It goes on like that. Many people, they go to temples and so on. They cheat themselves within their mind. I'll give you an example. See, we can worship any god for that matter. It is all stored in our mind. That's all. Yeah. Any god, just name any god and say that is our most preferred god. Yeah. It is a thought in our mind and it disappears when we sleep. And it comes back again the next day. And we continue to live with that concept. It goes on like that. So I'm not saying this god or that god, any god for that matter. Yeah? But do we get benefits? Yes, of course, we do have benefits. But the benefits are not coming from the god directly. It is a concept created in our mind based on emotions. Why? Because when I was a child, when I used to watch, when I go to the theaters and watch Chinese stunt films, movies, where there are some fights, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan and so on. When I come out of the movie theater, I feel like kicking someone. I do not know if it is a mental problem or if you also have had that in the past, I'm not sure. But what I'm trying to say is, based on the experience which I am undergoing in the theater, when I come out, that influences the way how I behave, at least for a few minutes or hours. That's normal. The reason why I am quoting this is people go to the temples, they also experience the same thing. Yeah, they see gods, yeah, fine, and then they have peace of mind. And that peace stays with them for a few minutes or hours, and then it goes away. It's a conditioning of the mind. Yeah? So this is all about the mind. So what I'm saying is, some people, they use their mind and their senses, they live and they die. This is another group. Yeah? So the next level is intellect. Intellect or intelligence. I mean, when I say intelligence, or an aspect of intellect is counting what is 2 plus 2. We use our intelligence, yeah, to make some complicated things and so on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the aspect of intellect which is not, or which cannot be reached by the human mind. What is that? For example, let's say I'm having a key and I'm keeping it somewhere, but I forgot. I'm searching for that key within the whole of my house and I couldn't find it. So I'm sitting in one place and do not know what to do, and at that time there will be a spark. Yeah, this can happen to anyone, everyone, even saying that there is a spark within me saying that, oh, you kept the key there. Have you heard this? It's a common thing. It is an aspect of intellect which shows us where the key is. One advanced version of this intellect can be called as the intuition. They call it as intuition also. This is one variation of that intellect. So, is there any way to access this intellect directly? If there is an option, that is the best. Why? Because that intellect not only shows us where we kept the key, but through the aspect of intuition, it can provide great benefits for us, because it can, let's say, save us from a lot of troubles. Is there any way to access that intellect? No. We cannot, because it is unidirectional. Intellect flows downwards. Yeah, the mind recognizes the information sent by the intellect only. The mind cannot go to the intellect. So then we are stuck. Who is operating the intellect? God. Yeah, God gives the information to the intellect, and the intellect passes it on further down to the mind. We see in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna will always talk to Arjuna to do the things. So it's like Lord, the God, directing the intellect. Yeah? And then the intellect decides how to go further. So now we are stuck. We cannot go further. Can we reach God? No. Why? Because we cannot even reach our intellect. That's it. So this is where Siddhanta comes in. The Siddhas, what they say is, they start with the base. Again, taking the 5 senses into account, they say, don't believe these senses. They were born with the body, they will die with the body. So they are not permanent. They are temporary. Use them, but learn how to control them as well. That's it. They are not telling not to use it. They are telling use your senses, but in a controlled manner. How do we control the senses? Through the mind. Now, let's go to the next level, mind. As I said, mind, it's just a series of thoughts. That's all. Can we drop the mind? Yes and no. It is not done something through the will. Yeah. So I'll give you an example of how this dropping of the mind can happen. Let's say I'm counting, sitting in the next to a door. I'm counting the number of people, or I'm just, let's say, watching the number of persons coming in. Let's say that is my task to do. Yeah, keeping an eye without, let's say, detailed investigation on each and every one, just watching them to see who is coming inside the room. So the first one comes in, I just watch them, he goes. Second one, third one, and if I keep on doing it, at a certain state, maybe 6th or 7th, what happens is my eyes will be following that person, but my mind will just disappear for a few seconds. Maybe you also have had this in the past. It's normal, it's a common thing. The mind just disappears for a few seconds, maybe milliseconds or microseconds, and then by the time we look at that person again, we come to our normal senses, and then we say, wow, this guy did come, I did watch, but my mind was not present. So the mind can be dropped, not directly through the willpower, but not by focusing or not giving enough attention to the thoughts which come in. If we keep on watching the thoughts, the mind just goes away. And if by practice we repeat this, the mind can go away. So this is one aspect. So the next one is intellect. We knew that we cannot, there is no direct road to the intellect. We cannot reach the intellect. So instead of going to the intellect, what they are saying is, to whom does this intellect belong? It is my intellect. Where is it? It is within me. Can you use it? No. Why? Because it is my intellect. So, if it is my intellect, it belongs to me. Yeah. So, instead of asking questions to the intellect to show or to reveal its nature, we just ask questions to the intellect about who is looking or who is the owner of this intellect. In simple words, who am I? To whom does this intellect belong to? Yeah? So once we start raising questions like this, then the intellect, the senses cannot answer this question. The mind will try to give you some answers, but the answers will not be satisfactory because they cannot be the real answer. They will not be. The intellect, through the cheap intelligence, like just by asking 2 plus 2 is equal to what, it can try to give you something, but they will not stand. You remember the thing which I mentioned about the car key earlier? A sudden spark triggers within you, revealing where the car key was. The same thing, by the same mechanism, the intellect will reveal who we are. That's all. And when it reveals who we are, then we are talking about a different subject. Paramatma, Jivatma, union, and so on, so on, so on. So, Siddhanta as such is not something theoretical, it is practical, based on what we have, based on this logic. This is a circle. We all have it. Yeah, no one has more of this and no one has less and so on. The only thing is the sequence of events which flows. If it follows the proper logic, anyone can ask this question, who am I? But it should be quite vigorous. Yeah? If I just ask who am I will not get an answer. But if that question is directed and focused and persisted over a long period of time, the Siddha says that we will come to find out our real nature, which is one with God. Thank you.